Hi, everybody. This is Tish Aiken, and I'm here to discuss this summer's eclipses. It's been a really tough time for people. It's been a lot of change, a lot of heavy emotions. We're dealing with several planets retrograde. At the moment, we have Mars, which is a personal planet and rules our willpower, our volition, our energy, our anger. Mars is not only retrograde, it's out of bounds until September 24th. It's also meeting up with the south node of karma, which means that for each of us, many behavioral patterns are surfacing that may be very uncomfortable. It can trigger anger, it can trigger pain, it can trigger returning to old relationships potentially, because the south node is in Aquarius, as is Mars, and Aquarius does rule friendships and associations. But the point is that we've already endured one eclipse and we have two more coming up. And the eclipse last week was on July 12th, 2018, and it was a partial solar eclipse at 20 degrees of Cancer, and it made an exact opposition to Pluto, which is the planet of power and transformation. And for many people, it's dealing with facing your fears and eliminating things that are blocking you. It can entail a lot of endings, even though solar eclipses generally are more about new beginnings. With an opposition to Pluto, that is eliminating things, that is letting go. And then Mars meeting up with the south node, that is again letting go of things. And because Mars is retrograde, the two are meeting up three times. They already made an exact conjunction on June 8th of this year, and now they're meeting up a second time at 5 degrees of Aquarius on July 21st. So we're all feeling the buildup right now. And with Mars out of bounds and with Mars retrograde, people are very out of control. Anger is very rampant. People are very impatient. What can you do in this? Well, you can try to take a step back. If there are relationships that are fairly comfortable and fairly, well, not comfortable, fairly healthy, and maybe there are things you want to discuss but that can wait. If there's something really toxic, that's another thing. And then maybe these eclipses are bringing to light relationships or people that you really do need to eliminate. And that's a different matter altogether. But if there are issues where you're feeling a bit frustrated, but it's something you can work out, then I would suggest waiting until Mars stations direct on August 28th, until after the eclipse season, where people are very charged up and erratic and incensed by all of this energy. And I would recommend reviewing how you're contributing to some of these dynamics, and your own process of dealing with anger and impatience and frustration and depression, which is inverted anger, obviously. So all of those themes are very strong. Mars and the South Node are meeting an exact conjunction on July 21st, but we're feeling the buildup now. So again, slow down, be careful on the road, be careful when you're confronting other people, people around you in your environment at work and on the streets, and just in general are going to be, charged up and just heat it up. And then we've got a total lunar eclipse next week, which I will go into more detail about. That's going to be intense because Mars is going to be exactly conjunct the south node, and the moon in Aquarius forming an opposition to the north node in Leo, which is what we're all meant to go towards, which is pursuing your heart path. And that is not an easy task at this moment, because a lot of things are going to come up for all of us where we feel like, am I off track? Am I slipping into things that I thought I already had mastered in my life? I thought I already dealt with these issues. Well, you know what? Maybe you didn't. Maybe it's time to do a little more work. It doesn't mean that you cannot elevate this into something better, you can. It's just that you want to do the work and you want to be conscious. And the ideas of eclipses is that it makes us aware. Eclipses sheds light on things, and they bring things to the forefront that we need to deal with. And so it's all okay. It's just going with the process, but doing the work you need to do. And I think that's essential. And just laying low this week. Mars rules motors, it rules guns, it rules anger, it rules how we take action. So people are going to be charged up. I don't want to sound scary, but I think it's good to be realistic of the fact that people are feeling very heightened and charged up. And as we approach the total lunar eclipse next week, well, eclipses are very revelatory, and that energy is now also in effect, and eclipses can reveal secrets and uncover information. They bring things to light. They're extremely emotional. We're still dealing with Jupiter, the luckiest planet. Just went direct on July 10th, and that's forming a lovely trine to Neptune, which rules the dream and it rules our imagination. Take it on the higher level and manifest what your dreams are. Do creative pursuits, but also be realistic about what's coming up for you, because this is it's not always somebody else. Take accountability, because the Mars on the South Node is what you can do to make things change. So it's not always the other person. And that's for everybody to recognize. And that's not a judgment. It's just realistic. And it's a heavy week. It's a heavy summer, but we can work with this constructively. And I will speak to you soon. Thank you.